Marvin Sapp is a disappointment right now because so many people lean into people like this. And then what they do, they show that they wasn't always worthy of that leadership, that support. Lock the doors. We're going to lock the doors till we get some money. That's really like a stick up. That's like a stick up. Nobody's leaving till we get all the money. That's what it reminds me of. Yo, nobody move. Everybody, until we get this money, nobody's leaving. Kenny Green, raw perspective, concrete and steel, keeping it good and raw, unity for the community, always. That's why I want to talk about this Marvin Sapp, because it wasn't unity for the community. It was like, I need mine, give me mine, you know. And let me just say this so y'all can understand some of my history in speaking about Marvin Sapp. My father was a pastor, is a pastor. He's been that way for a long time. Never took no money from the church, never asked the church to pay his rent, never asked the church to buy him some transportation. He put more than his share. My grandfather, church member, helped build a church from the ground up, South Carolina. They were thankful to be servants, to be able to give of their time, donate to their community, carry the Lord's work, put people on their shoulders and carry them. This new wave thing now, especially with Marvin Sapp, insulting, and it's a disgrace because God does not need your money. Make no mistake about it. And like they say, man, the fraudulent people will be exposed. And this is what's happening right now. Marvin Sapp, you go back enough in the history of church and the time when the foundation of the church was probably more important than it is right now. And I'm not saying it's not important, but the way the church is operating, the younger people and people just don't respect it because they know what's real and what's not real. And they're no longer selling themselves out for something fraudulent that they can't feel, that doesn't take care of them, that doesn't protect them. Because the things that are happening now, a person will put all their money into the church and then they pass away. And the church say, we cannot bury you. See, everything is about being honorable and everything is about the exchange rate. If I put something in, I should be entitled to get something out. If I'm following you and you're teaching God's word and I'm saying, okay, I'm going to do what you say God is what we're supposed to be doing, and you don't honor your part, what do you think is going to happen? Who you are is going to surface. Whether it's the T.D. Jakes, the Marvin Sapps, the bling preachers, you got to think about it. And I'm only talking about the ones that are fraudulent, that are standing and using God's name in a way that he doesn't want it represented. This is why he shakes himself loose from all those people that's carrying it a certain way. And the thing is, right now, the church seem like they will accept anything if it has some money attached to it. And in life, we know how that winds up because we're seeing it more and more every day. When you put the money ahead of the principle, ahead of the doctrine, ahead of your everything, it's only one way for it to go because they print this money every day, and they can give you so much of it. Your principle, your word, your integrity is a one-shot deal. Once you get a stain on it, you can't shout it out. You can't shout it out. This is why people like T.D. Jakes, the bling preacher, and now Marvin Sapp, you won't be able to erase this, man. You won't be able, because you knew better. When you don't know better, some things can be understood and things can be worked. You knew better because you from the era, you from the generation of struggle. When the church played a role of foundation, protection, community service. That's not what's happening now. So this is why membership is not the same. The realness in the church is not the same. I watched the or I listened to the interview he did with Ricky Smiley, right? And he did clear a few things up, but no one said that the money was for you personally. And he explained that it was an organization he was supporting that helped him. And it's out of Baltimore. This happened in Baltimore maybe a year ago. But it doesn't really excuse the technique, because he said, he didn't say lock the doors. He said close the doors. And we know in wordplay, certain things can be said one way, and really the emphasis of it is the way you wanted to go across, even if you didn't say lock the doors. Now, he may have said, I'm not 100% sure, but why you have to close the doors, and you pressuring people about money. And you don't, and I saw part of the clip, and I do remember these seats being $20 seats, and all of these people, no, put your $20 back in your wallet. Y'all giving $100. I just frown upon that technique, because we're not even concerning ourselves with what people can afford, what they can stand, and what they are going through. You talk about your children and the death threats and the different things, but some of this come from the hostility people feel towards a technique that you are using. So nobody said the 40,000 was for you personally. That was never said. That's another wordplay that you're trying to slide out on. Nobody said it was for you. This is about the technique. This is about pastors applying a certain level of pressure, a certain level of taking a person's faith and using it to make them feel a certain way. Because some people give based on what you tell them. They will put their bills on hold because this is what you need. But do anyone check on the turmoil that is caused by these people putting certain things that you want them to put first and not taking care of their affairs? So when you talk about the comments and different things, that's, nobody checks on the people that's giving this money and maybe leaving them in a shortfall on them handling their business. So you did clear up some things, Marvin Sapp, but the technique that a lot of these churches use to extract money from people and not concerning themselves with the well-being and the welfare financially of the people that you're asking the money for. Maybe y'all should have a day where I want to talk to people and I want to know what they're going through and financially where they at. Does anybody take time to know financially where some of these elderly people finances at? Because they are some of the most faithful, giving people. Does anyone check to see where they're really at financially? Concrete and steel. Think about it.
Open up shop, building blocks in the hood, generational wealth, that cycle understood. Mom and pop, black hands baking the bread. Cash flows back to culture, well fed. Spend that dollar where your people reside. Support the roots, let the family thrive. Brick by brick, we gon' rewrite the script. Black owned stores, let the tables get